What's up? I'm Renton Vlogs, aka the Super Mediocre, and today I just want to talk about the different photographs and videos I took this summer and the equipment I used to capture the different imagery. So I'm just going to rant and show you the different photos, show you the videos, and that's how we're going to do this. And if you get curious about any of the equipment or photography or video discussed, feel free to comment down below, join in the conversation, share your opinion, discuss with each other, discuss with me. Or if you're proud of a particular edit or thing you've done this summer, feel free to drop your Instagram handle and I would be more than happy to check out the work that you've done because I love looking at other creators' work. And that's how we're gonna do this. I started off June very excited. 5 months prior to that, I'd reached out to a music festival called High Tide as soon as they announced tickets. And I had reached out to High Tide Festival a few years in a row, never heard anything back. This year was different. I got an email saying, hey, we're short on media. Can you come through and help document the festival? As far as I'm concerned, that's my absolute favorite thing to do. So without a question, I just responded, absolutely yes, I will be there. Just tell me the details and I'll make sure I'm on time, ready to go. That was very exhausting for those 2 days, but showed up. First day was kind of document some branded content. Second day was free reign, do whatever you want. And I had an absolute blast. And the thing prior to this festival that I had never done was I never shot flash photography. But when you get into these low light concert-based situations at night, sometimes you don't have a choice. Even though with the Canon EOS 1DS Mark III, I use a 1.2 85mm USM Mark II lens on that. It's extremely good in low light and you can keep the ISO relatively low so you're not letting noise creep in, but it just really wasn't capturing the true essence of the festival the way I wanted it to, and I was missing a lot of shots and a lot of opportunities for shots that first day. So I put my camera equipment away at night. Even though I was able to document during the day, capture a lot of people partying. I used primarily the Canon EOS 1DS Mark III as well as a Leica M240 to capture the majority of these images. And at night, I was like, all right, well, I've got this red 8K Super 35 digital cinema camera with a 25mm high-speed Celere cinema lens. This festival is absolutely beautiful. People are dressed up, lights are going off, and it just seemed like a prime opportunity to break that camera out and test it out in slow-mo and capture some really cool images. And to me, beyond pushing myself to shoot flash on the second day, that first day, the highlight was really breaking out that camera and getting some cool slow-mo shots of the crowd. Now, one of the shots I wanted to get that I was unable to get was behind the DJ overlooking the crowd because I thought that would be a cool shot in slow-mo. I got that later in the summer, we'll discuss that momentarily. But I was able to document the crowd going back and forth in the pit. I got a cool stage shot, and this was all stuff I wanted to include within a reel. And that was my primary focus of getting these particular shots. Also, the Sony ZV-E1 is a nighttime killer. I had a 14mm G Master Sony lens on the ZV-E1 and it handled itself extremely well at night, so I could do some quick pickups and get some really cool, clean shots of just people partying, dancing, and having a good time. And that's where I saw the Sony ZV-E1 really come to life because beyond vlogging, I haven't used it for all that much beyond these talking head-based shots. So that first day, the highlight for me was really just using that red and getting those slow-mo shots. And I absolutely love the shots and the way the images turned out. And to me, that's where like a red, while you can do so many different things with it, stands out for me amongst many other cameras, is that slow-mo capability. Beyond the specs on paper of a lot of cameras that can ultimately match the same specs, just the red has a little bit of an edge with how you can manipulate the image and how crisp it looks, as well as the motion of the image overall when shot in slow-mo. While many cameras come extremely close, and I would say are not worse by any means, the images are just slightly different, the red does shine in this slow-mo, super clean look. And I love that about it. And to me, definitely worth it and definitely worth the pain and the exhaustion of that first day to break out the red. Day 2, we got free reign, showed up at 11 a.m., do whatever you want till about 10 p.m., and that's when the festival was over. And that's where I really got to have a lot more fun. Ran around primarily using a Leica M240 that day, documenting different people, documenting different DJs. Met a really cool DJ, Hyed, there that I shot for again later this summer, and really got to capture the essence of the festival that second day with people's personalities, people's outfits, just people going off and having a good time. And I think when you go to music festivals, beyond these music artists that show up that have these massive followings, one of the coolest things to do is always focus on the crowd, because they're the ones that really make the festival come to life and happen. And I love that. I don't really know what I'm doing using a flash yet. I'm trying different things and I'm pushing myself in different ways. And I think that's something you should always do within photography, so you don't get stuck in creating a look and that's all you know how to do is create that look. While I can repeat looks, I like trying new looks to see if I can make something that stands out just that much more and exceed my own personal expectations beyond anything else. So went off, had a blast shooting flash, and really started to learn how to utilize that. And one of my favorite things to do after filming these festivals is flip the content back to the artist and the people that I documented at the festivals, so you can establish some type of relationship. So if they have events or things going on later in the summer or later down the road sometime, you can reach back out and see if they'll allow you to come through and create media for them. Or maybe they reach out to you. You never know, but you got to build that relationship if you want future opportunities. Let's see here. Let's see what else we do in June. So later in June, I got a document over at the Wits in Charleston. Absolutely phenomenal comedy club, kind of a hidden gem here, but it's definitely gaining a lot of well-deserved recognition. And you get some killer acts that come through there. I got to photograph Grace O'Malley, who I'd never seen perform comedy before, but I knew of her. I gotta say, she's an absolute killer comedian, and I was super stoked to be able to document her set and shoot photographs for her. And then you had people like Doug Stanhope, who is a comedy legend. And then, towards the end of the month, the owner of the club, Josh, hit me up and was like, I have this idea for a group photo, kind of a press release where we're going to take a group photo of all the different past comedians of the club. Now, if you don't know what a past comedian for a club is, it is a comedian that's put in the work, put in the effort, put in the time, either through comedy itself or working with a club directly to help build it out and performs there regularly. So it's basically a person that does featured sets, opens, or does headlining at the club on a consistent basis. So I got to take a photo of all the past comedians, and just using that opportunity in that day, I was like, all right, well, I got this flash, we've got some cool atmosphere at the club. And we all bounced over to the stairwell and I took a lot of their headshots, again, pushing myself to use a flash and better understand photos that could be generated and how the light breaks down and how you could play with a flash to get the best possible photo.